so much hype heading into this episode of 10th episode of Flash. This is Revenge of the Rogues. Man, so much hype was heading into this. I mean, we just got episode 9 a couple weeks ago for the mid-season finale. We got to see the Reverse Flash, and then we found out who the Reverse Flash is, and the Reverse Flash's identity was revealed, and it was Harrison Wells, and it was just so much hype leading to this episode, and it was hard to see. It was actually interesting to see if they could even top it off with this episode, but knowing the Flash and how good it gets each week, the Flash truly did. The Flash truly did get better in this episode, even in this episode, and literally he actually did get better, because in this episode we were introduced to Heatwave, aka Mick Rory. In the comics, he's a Flash villain. He loved fire as a kid, and he accidentally killed his parents with fire. He was obsessed with fire, and he ended up having a flame gun that he uses to basically use for fire and kill people. But and this they kind of changed up the origin story a little in this episode of the Flash, but it's natural because they do that a lot. In this episode, he ends up being a scientist or somebody who works in. He ends up burning himself. He has third-degree burns, but he loves fire so much that, yeah, and basically, Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, gives him a flame gun and asks him to join him in his reign to try and take over Central City. And that's basically what happened in this episode. They were trying to get the Flash to basically come at them because they wanted to defeat the Flash finally, get him over with, destroy him, and then take over Central City. But Heatwave was played by Dominic Purcell, and I really thought that Dominic Purcell really brought in the intensity, and he actually brought in the look of the Heatwave as well. I mean, he acted like Heatwave. He looked like Heatwave. I mean, there wasn't more you could have asked from Dominic Purcell, and it was actually pretty interesting because he was a Prison Break star, and he actually starred with Wentworth Miller, co-starred with Wentworth Miller in Prison Break, in the Prison Break TV series, and now they're playing villains again, and they're teaming up again because Wentworth Miller's Captain Cold, and yeah, but basically in this episode, the Flash was trying to get faster. Barry was trying to get faster through a various amount of exercises, and it really just shows you that he's really determined to beat the Reverse Flash and get stronger and faster than him. And it'd really be interesting to see just what would happen when how Barry will react when he finds out that Harrison Wells is the Reverse Flash. I mean, in this episode, he called Dr. Wells his friend, and that just goes to show you that he really trusts Dr. Wells. He really sees Dr. Wells as someone he can trust and he can go to, and they always have each other's backs. They always help each other. But if he ever finds out, which he probably will, that Dr. Wells is the Reverse Flash, it would be like a friend betraying him, and it's gonna really interest me to see this. And this episode was pretty hyped, and I really enjoyed this episode. But yeah, and he was, and but I didn't like how the side stories were pretty uninteresting, in my opinion. How Caitlin was trying to find out what Ronnie was talking about Firestorm, and then she talks to Jason Rush, who's part of the Firestorm in the comics, and he publishes something called Firestorm, an article, and then Caitlin tries to talk and interview him about it. And yeah, I really thought that side story wasn't really necessary, but I really liked that they're still having Cisco naming the people, the villains in this episode. I mean, in this episode he named Heatwave. So it was really, I think that adds a little comedy relief, and I just really like Cisco, and I can't wait to see when he becomes Vibe. But this episode was pretty good in my opinion, and the Flash he showed himself as more mentally stronger and faster, and he was trying to, and he ended up defeating Captain Cold and Heatwave by having them cancel out each other's guns. But in the end, they ended up getting caught and they ended up getting sent to prison. But they were eventually near the end of the episode. They were broken out by none other than Leonard Snart's sister, Lisa Snart, who in the comics plays Golden Glider. We didn't get to see her. We didn't see anything of her. She was basically breaking in the truck, and then all of a sudden, Leonard Snart says, "Hello, sister." So it was pretty interesting to see, and I can't wait to see what Leonard Snart's sister has a big role in this at all. And we'll see. We'll have to see in later episodes. But she is. It's been confirmed that she will be in the Flash TV series, and she'll be played by Peyton List. And I can't wait to see how they do this. And overall, I give the episode an A minus. It was a really good episode. It was very entertaining, and it really showed the Flash in this episode to me, and I really enjoyed this episode overall. But those are just my thoughts on this episode. What are your guys' thoughts on this episode? Thanks for watching, but that's all I have for you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, drop me a like and subscribe, because that will be very polite of you. I'll have more explained videos soon, and more videos. So if you're still thirsty for some videos, go ahead and click the red button on down there, and that says subscribe. Click it, and yeah, and check out my other videos. But that's all I have for you guys, and I'm Kevin Ambrose, and until next time, talk to you guys later.